we start news worth knowing tonight with snow because a freezing cold front hit South Africa harder than Will Smith hit Chris Rock this past weekend. We saw epic snowfall across the country, especially in the Free State, the Eastern Cape and KZN, where some motorists got stuck in their cars on remote roads for hours or days in some cases. South Africans are all really shocked by this snow. Except Cape Townians. They aren't shocked because Cape Town gets snow all year round. You guys are telling on yourselves for laughing at that joke. Right, many South Africans are learning how to handle snowy conditions for the first time. Fortunately, we have this absolutely epic everyday hero giving us a weather warning guide. She is better than any government official or media warning I have seen. Thank you for your service, Mama Snow, which is not my name, it's Twitter's name. So, we had snow this weekend, but don't worry, we didn't allow the weather to derail our jaw because South Africans, as always, are undefeated. The craziest part of that is that the scarf is on the snowman and the guys have their nipples out. Next on News Worth Knowing, it's matric dance season and I am obsessed with this new trend in South Africa of matrics trying to find the most creative ways to arrive at their dance. My second favorite from this weekend was this very special package. Amazing, amazing. But the absolute winner had to go to this emergency service. No notes, perfect. No DNA, just RSA. Next on News Worth Knowing, the South African Post Office has urged citizens to start sending their Christmas parcels now, in September, or their presents may not get to their loved ones in time for Christmas, which is insane. They need 3 months to send a parcel. Take a lot just to deliver 2 school kids to their matric dance, and the post office needs a quarter of a year to send a Christmas card. It's September. Mariah Carey hasn't even come out of hibernation yet. Why did you do that? I literally just said it was too soon. Like, guys. Anyway, where was I? Okay, back to Mariah. Guys, no! Stop it. I'm literally saying it's too soon for Mariah. So what, now you're going to play that every time I say Mariah now? Nobody in the studio say that song, that name again, okay? No. Mariah! I need a holiday. So the post office wants us to send Christmas cards now, but we can't do that. It's too soon. It's more than 3 months until Christmas. We don't know yet who to send gifts to, guys. 3 months. There's too much time for our loved ones to betray us in 3 months. There's too much time for our government to betray us. There's too much time for our employers to betray us. What if that 13 paycheck doesn't come? What if we send electronics for Christmas now and then load shedding comes back? What if you find out it's not your baby? It's too soon. Next on News Worth Knowing, a Cape Townian woman has been scammed out of 60,000 Rand by someone pretending to be Elon Musk. The woman's daughter says that her mother chats with Elon Musk on WhatsApp and for the last 8 months has been waiting for Elon to fly to Cape Town to marry her. And yes, according to this woman, the world's richest person has repeatedly asked her for money which she has sent him. Clearly, Twitter's advertising collapse is way worse than we thought. Now, Elon isn't the only world-famous man knocking at this woman's door. Apparently, last year, she says she got WhatsApp chatting with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and she sent him 70,000 Rand. What is on this woman's Tinder bio, I have to say. And I also have to ask, how much snow is at her house? Because what the heck is going on, as Tyler once said. Next on News Worth Knowing, I know you're going to be excited about this one. It's going to get your blood pumping. The South African Reserve Bank finally cut the repo rate! You guys do not sound like landowners, or you would have been much more excited. Yes, we got a 25 basis point cut, which means 0.25% from 8.25% down to 8%. Now, I know that that doesn't sound amazing. A 0.25% drop is not a lot of percent. For perspective, on a 2 million rand bond repayment, you will now be paying 350 less rand per month, which is like one night out at Babel, which may not sound enormous compared to the 2 million rand bond, but it does add up over time. But the fact that we have got a repo rate cut at all is the bigger story here. And to understand why, just stick with me. It might sound boring. We need to know what a repo rate is and how it is used. So let's do that quickly. All around the world, countries have banks called central or reserve banks. It's called a reserve bank in South Africa. And one of their jobs is to make policies that help countries' citizens and businesses gain wealth and keep the overall economy working well. One way our Reserve Bank does this is by loaning money to private commercial banks, like the ones who we have bank accounts with. When a commercial bank loans money from the Reserve Bank places interest on that loan for the commercial bank to repay. That's what the repo rate is. And then when we go to our commercial banks for certain kinds of large loans, like a bond on a property, the commercial bank charges us interest on that loan in line with what the repo rate has given the Reserve Bank, what it charges them. So when the repo rate changes, the interest we have to pay changes. And this can be really bad or really good for people repaying loans, because the interest rate that they were paying when they first took out the loan may change for better or worse as time passes. Are you with me? Yep. Does that even make a little bit of sense? Yes. Are we fine? Okay. So next step. How does the Reserve Bank use the repo rate to guide our economy? The goal of any society is for citizens and businesses to be making money and spending money, right? That's how people gain wealth. But too much spending and borrowing leads to inflation, which is bad because the prices go up, our wages mean less, our money is literally worth less with inflation. So economies need to find a sweet spot, like Goldilocks, where the right amount of spending and borrowing is happening to make wealth and growth, but not too much, or there will be inflation. So the Reserve Bank uses the repo rate to help us find that sweet spot. If there's too much inflation, the Reserve Bank will increase the repo rate, which means commercial banks will increase their interest rates, which means it's more expensive for us to take out loans, so we will borrow and spend less. That's what they've been doing for the last few years to get control of inflation. But now that inflation has been reduced to an acceptable level, we can go back to spending and borrowing again, right? So the Reserve Bank has cut the repo rate, which means the commercial banks cut their interest rates, which means it's cheaper for us citizens to spend and borrow, so we have more money in our pockets. Are you still with me?
Yes.
Ish. Enough. Okay. Now, obviously, this isn't the full story. Somebody is drinking in the crowd to get through this segment. Many factors influence a country's economy, but this is the foundational theory to understand repo rates. South Africa's economy has been stagnant for a long time, barely growing at all, barely making any more wealth for us. And that's partially because of COVID, load shedding, corruption, failing government services, fuel prices, all those kinds of things. But now we've had a stable power supply for a little while, touch wood. Fuel prices are going down, the rand has got a little stronger, and inflation is under control. Now that all that is the case, the Reserve Bank reckons that conditions are right for our economy to maybe, just maybe, start growing again. So they've cut the repo rate. And that's something to be hopeful about, right? We just need to keep calm and carry on. I said carry, not carry. Please, give me a break. Right, Economics 101 class is over. We're going to take a quick break. Coming up in a second, show correspondent Mashed Up Potatoes and special musical guest Bokang Ramatlapeng are here. And after that, we talk about the National Prosecuting Authority, a vital organization in the fight against crime in South Africa that is going through the most. You're on the Dan Corder Show. See you now.